Hi, you guys. Welcome back. My name is Carrie Penny. I am the Happy Crafty Homemaker. And today we're doing BOD Squad's questions, the 23 questions about you. I was tagged by the Crochet Witch. I will leave her channel down below. Go check that out, please. Post-workout attire. So I tried to film this, workout. Really all I'm doing is taking a stroll while it's nice weather outside. I tried to film this while I was taking my walk. Everybody and their brother was out early this morning. I thought if I left closer to 8, like nobody would really be out aside from a couple of walkers. No. The last couple of days I've passed 20 to 23 people out. And I mean, it was only like 10 people, but still, when you're trying to film a 15-minute video, having to pause to be polite, or the neighborhood landscapers are out and they're making a ridiculous amount of noise, and there are a number of people out doing their home improvement projects and pressure washing. So anyway, that was a fail. So I was like, all right, well, I'll go sit on my back deck and film this. Of course, all of a sudden, like 80 bajillion cars decided to drive by, and I tried like putting in my headphones to use the microphone off the headphones. That didn't work. That didn't stifle the background noise. So here we are in the craft room. Huge explanation for absolutely no reason. But yeah, this is the third time I've tried to film this morning. And I did try to take you more interesting places than my standard spot here. So when I asked Troy if he wanted to participate in this, he kind of gave me the side eye that clearly states, have you lost your ever-loving mind? So anyway, I will just sit here and answer my own questions. What's your favorite color? Pink, blue, and purple. Equally. Love them even more together. Favorite genre of music? I'm going to keep it simple and just say classic rock, because I can turn that on anytime and be perfectly happy. But I do like a lot of like pop music in general. Favorite food probably would be fresh baked yeast bread right out of the oven, still hot, with butter. And I don't normally cut it in slices at that point. I just rip off handfuls of bread. I can't eat that a lot. It doesn't love me back, but some days that's just what you gotta do. Favorite soda? I really don't have one. If I'm having like junk food, like pizza, burgers, hot dogs kind of thing, yeah, I'll drink like a Diet Pepsi or something. But occasionally, I treat myself to a Diet Cheerwine, but I really don't have a favorite soda. Sometimes you just want a Diet Dr. Pepper or a Dr. Pepper, but I drink water. And sometimes, I put like Mio or something like that in my water. But for the most part, I just drink water. Favorite animal? Domestic, that would be a cat. But I also absolutely love sloths, bats, and elephants. Holiday? Halloween. Of course, Halloween. I love the holidays that are more religiously focused and more family focused, but Halloween is just so much fun, you guys. It's just good fun, good clean fun. Everybody loves to get spooked and creeped out every now and again, like dressing up in costumes fun, and the whole candy thing is fun. It's just I love Halloween. Favorite book? I don't really have. I listen to a lot of audiobooks when I'm crafting or trying to fall asleep, things like that. I've listened to Harry Potter narrated by Jim Dales like 900 times. That was the first things that I got with my Audible. Frequently, if I don't want to listen to music while cleaning, I'll turn on Harry Potter. Bill Bryson's narrative books are also all amazing. If you want to just about wet yourself laughing, I recommend in order The Thunderbolt Kid, followed by A Walk in the Woods, and then Sunburnt Country. All three are great. All three have some of the funniest moments, and he narrates a lot of his own audiobooks. So if you can find those three narrated by Bill Bryson, great times to be had. But he also does some more history, sciencey kind of books too, and those are very easy to understand, fun to listen to. His commentary on some things is interesting. But yeah, we've had listened to Made in America, the it's a brief history of almost nearly everything or something like that. The one with the one that's words, the history of words, that one is really good. I like all of the Daphne du Maurier books I've listened to or read. I read a lot of, I won't call them junk books, but I read a lot of not highbrow stuff. My reading time is to unwind and relax, so I don't. I do read expand your horizon books, but most of my reading time is spent reading kind of fun stuff. It's like knitting and crocheting. It's a way for me to unwind, take my mind off things, distract myself. Make of that what you will. Favorite pizza topping is probably beef and banana pepper. I really like beef and jalapeno too, but I get beef and banana pepper because not everybody wants a pizza that burns your face off. If you can find a place that uses the really crunchy pickled jalapenos, it's so good. Second favorite is a really good, properly made white pizza. Most people mess up their white sauce really bad, so it's hard to find a good white sauce. Sorry, I did some light rearranging of single skeins out, and now I'm having an issue with what I put in its place. Also, you can't use like low moisture mozzarella for those. You really need the kind of mozzarella when it's warm, your teeth sink into it, but it doesn't string. The mozzarella is what replaces like meat on a pizza like that. So you need something heartier. Personal opinion. But yeah, those are my two go-to personal, if I'm ordering just for me. My favorite pastimes, knitting and crocheting, obviously, reading. Used to be baking, but because I can't eat a lot of the stuff I would make normally, I don't do nearly as much baking. Yeah, that's Troy and I hang out and we watch TV together and stuff like that. We like just chilling time. Favorite TV series. I'm gonna have to go with the original 4 Star Trek series. I still haven't finished Enterprise, although I don't mind it. It's different. And I couldn't get into Discovery. And Picard, it was fun, but I think they've made some errors in how an established character would respond to certain things. So I'm a little torn on the new stuff, but the original series, Next Generation, Voyager, and Deep Space Nine were all fantastic. I can go back and watch those just about any time. My guilty pleasure show is probably Riverdale. I'm still like super far behind, but for some reason, like if you just forget the fact this is supposed to be the Archies, it's kind of a fun ride. I don't watch reality TV. We watch a lot of fictionalized history like Versailles, The Tudors, things like that. things where you can, even though they're not perfectly historically accurate for the point of storytelling, it doesn't just take away from the history. So the really fictionalized stuff we don't really get into. The more historical stuff we get into. Favorite fruit? Probably berries. There aren't many berries I don't like, but I don't really have a favorite berry. Favorite vegetable? Just out of hand eating, probably something like cucumbers or bell peppers. Carrots, I really like carrots. But my favorite vegetable dish is roasted Brussels sprouts with a little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper, prosciutto, and almond slivers. I don't eat it very often, but that is like I could just eat a bowl of that and be perfectly content. But I like vegetables by and large. I like smaller eggplants. I mean, I have preference, but I like eggplant. I just don't like the really big ones with when the seeds taste like tobacco. I prefer the younger, picked earlier eggplants. Favorite subject in school, theater and English. I adored my English teachers. I was very lucky to have very good English teachers in high school, which made the classes a lot more enjoyable. Most of the books I had already read in previous years, and my teachers didn't, do the whole, oh, you're cheating if you're not reading it with the class. As long as I was passing the quizzes and tests on the books, they didn't care. Whenever we did something that was a longer part of the program, like everybody reads Romeo and Juliet, we actually had like projects that were fun to go along with those things, making masks for the mask scene and things like that. My English grammar teacher was also the president of the poetry club, and she was amazing. She's an excellent teacher. She didn't partake in a lot of the fun things, but she was fun. So you got very interested in, you were invested in her, so you became invested in her class. She was awesome. I don't have a favorite actor or singer. There are too many that I like to be able to say. I mean, I can say, this group is probably my top 15. There are actors like James Frain, pretty much, if I see he's in it, I will give it a shot because he seems to be really good at picking things I find interesting. He was in The Tudors, Orphan Black. There was something else we watched him in fairly recently, but like John Lithgow's the same way. I really just like John Lithgow. But yeah, picking a favorite of either one of those is actually kind of hard. I mean, I can cop out and say the Beatles are my favorite singer. But that also kind of diminishes, how much I like other bands like Def Leppard or yeah, I can't really pick a favorite. Favorite superhero, Batman. Hands down, I am a Batman girl. I like other superheroes. I don't like Marvel comic books as much as DC comic books, but I think Marvel by and large has done a better job with their movie franchise. A movie and television series franchises. They're less weird about it. DC tends to try too hard. The closest they've gotten with anything that's been really, really true to character and true to theme, I think, has been the Batman franchise. They pick and pull from different things. The camp of the Adam West show is just fantastic. I think that's it. Once again, it's not highbrow, but it's just so much fun. Um, and then you have series like Gotham, which went much more with like the graphic novel kind of feel. Regardless of which universe they're using for the storyline, the feel is very much like the graphic novels. Same thing with the more recent movies. I think by and large, Batman's just more fun to watch. It's more interesting to watch. The psychology of the villains is more interesting, I think. And the fact that Batman himself is walking that very fine line between hero and villain. I mean, it's all a matter of perspective, and I think Batman handles that very well, is in the written form and in the cinematic forms. So yeah, I'm a Batman person. Favorite comedian? I like young George Carlin. Before George Carlin and Richard Pryor decided to see who could be the most offensive while being funny, that era of George Carlin. Wacky Weatherman, snot, fluorescent snot, still makes me giggle like a 12-year-old boy. Can't help it. Stuff is just so true. That era where it was clever and funny, pushing the envelope, but not gratuitous. I mean, even, the words you can't say on television and radio, pushed the envelope, but wasn't gratuitous, in my opinion. I don't mind cursing. I don't mind body humor or anything else. I've actually got a pretty R-rated sense of humor, but it's not funny after a certain point. I like a lot more wit. I don't mind the more gratuitous, but it still has to be rooted in that wittiness, funniness, twist of reality kind of stuff. But yeah, that young George Carlin, early George Carlin was hilarious. I highly recommend going back to listen to some of those albums if you've got the opportunity. Some of his, the Brain Droppings book contains a lot of that early stuff too, which was funny. Favorite season? I am a fall girl all the way. I will take spring because I like it to be cool in the morning, cool at night, warm during the day, but not hot or cold. Right now we're in like the perfect spring weather where it's like 63 in the morning, 80 at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And by the time I go to bed, it's in the 60s, upper 60s again. To me, that's the perfect weather. I like it more in the fall when my allergies aren't so bad, but I love the colors of fall. I love the holidays of fall. Putting on the feed sack for Thanksgiving, pushing out towards Christmas and doing that preparation, seeing family and friends. I love, once again, Halloween. So yeah, fall is definitely my season. Spring will take second for weather. Favorite, almost missed one. Favorite movie, don't have one. There are so many things that I can just turn on anytime and watch. I like, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. There's some classic movies that I can pretty much turn on anytime, like Laura or Rebecca, All About Eve. If you like Bette Davis, check out Dark Victory if you haven't seen it. That's like probably my all-time favorite Bette Davis movie. As good as she is in All About Eve, Dark Victory is so good. It's just good. I even horror movies, it's kind of hard to pick a favorite because I've got Yeah, I think Halloween is, and the original, not the remake, um, probably one of the most iconic, horror movies. But, there are things like Alien that's more sci horror, and that's probably the most iconic that people think of when it comes to that science fiction horror hybrid movie over there. We did watch, there was a really weird independent movie we just watched recently. I say that like it's not, half of horror is made from independent studios, but it's something Annie, and it's a bunch of college kids that are having a board game night, Halloween night, and play this weird game. And that was actually kind of fun. It was a little bit different. It was a little unique. There are a couple that are part of that same group on Hulu that I was like, it's a little bit different. I'm not a slasher film person, though, when it comes to horror movies. By and large, I prefer The Hunt, which is why, even though Halloween, people think of it as being a slasher film, the body count's relatively low. It's more about the shark circling as prey. I like The Hunt. I like mystery horror where you don't quite know what's going on. Hitchcockian horror is a lot of fun. That but favorite movie is very hard. Picking one movie to say like all-time favorite. Can't really do it. Favorite smell. I am a seasonal scent person. I like right now, springtime, clean linen, gardenia, lilac, lavender, those kinds of smells I prefer. Summer, I move more towards clean linen and bright citrus. Fall, I start moving into rich citrus with cinnamon and clove. Carry that into winter where I add more of like spicy cinnamon, less citrus, more apple. Um, so yeah, I'm a very seasonal scent person. Kids, don't have one. I'd have to say my grandkids, followed very closely by my godson and his sister. They are, these kids are a riot. I had to just tell my friends the other day, I was like, your kids are at the point you don't want me to babysit because I'm going to be the person who's teaching them things like The Song That Never Ends and some obnoxious dance to go along with it. Not to get the kid in trouble, but because it entertains kids and annoys parents and cracks me up. I am the worst person to have around your children if you're trying to discipline them for harmlessly acting out, because I'm going to be sitting there laughing at what they're doing. I think kids are hilarious by and large, especially if they're being well raised. Yeah. Favorite decade. It depends on what we're talking about. Fashion, probably the 60s. Food, modern era, 100%. Too much Jello in the past. Tuna salad Jello just does not sound good to me. Not a huge fan of aspic. I don't even eat fruity Jello. I can't handle the texture. Haven't been able to eat it since I was little. I'm pretty sure I must have had the flu, been fed Jello, and couldn't eat it ever again. I'm pretty sure this is what happened. General home decor, probably mid to late 50s. Kitchen decor, early 50s. I love that turquoise, pink, cherry red, early 50s style. Tchotchkes and kitsch, 70s. I love the little mushroom canisters and spice of life Corningware and things like that from the 70s. Love that. Yeah, I mean, my next favorite decade for fashion is probably the 40s. I love looking at the war, post-war shift in fashion. I think it's really fascinating. But yeah, I'd pretty much have to say from 1935 to 1975, maybe, for different things. Favorite YouTube channel. So I'm going to steer clear of the crafting channels because we'd be here for another 30 minutes. I watch a lot of Good Mythical Morning. Stuart Ashens. He cracks me up. I love his Dollar Tree tat videos and stuff. Those are just a riot. I love Barry Lewis. The kitchen gadget thing is fun, watching him test out kitchen gadgets. But I have to say, if you have never experienced Barshans, which is Stuart Ashens and Barry Lewis's channels together, those two together are a riot. And while I like the new format okay, or the latest format of the Barshans show okay, the original Barshans was much more fun. They're just they crack me up. But if you put those two together, they've been doing some videos at Stuart's house. Will it Soda Stream? Will it Sandwich Press? They're not going for the gross out factor of Rhett and Link, and Stuart also does a whole thing of out of date food products and vintage toys, kind of nerdy things. He's got a couple books out about old video games. But yeah, that's a lot of what I watch when I'm not watching crafty stuff. So I will link those down below as well. If I can find that Annie movie, I'll put the title down below too, because that's worth checking out as like we're sitting here eating lunch and don't know what to do kind of thing. So I am tagging the North Country Knitter, Cinnamon Stitches, Nona Stitching Lounge, and please get Nono to join you because that would be hilarious. And Heaven's Peacemaker. So I'm going to go get this uploaded while I take a shower. Sorry I couldn't take you guys outdoors. And of course, like as soon as I sit down out here, I don't hear them cutting the grass and trimming hedges, and I don't hear the cars anymore. Anyway, I will see you guys real soon. Take care. Love you.